أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي ربي يسر ولا تعسر وتمم بالخير آمين يا رب العالمين.
In this lecture, we will study demonstrative pronouns or ism ishara as mubtada. Let us revise Jumla Ismiya. Jumla Ismiya is made by the combination of at least two asma. And ism plus ism will make Jumla Ismiya. Therefore, each Jumla Ismiya will have two components, mubtada and khabar. Mubtada is the subject and khabar is the predicate. Mubtada is the ism which is found at the beginning of Jumla Ismiya, and khabar will give us more information about mubtada. The rules for Jumla Ismiya are: number one, mubtada will always be in the rafa status, or mubtada will always be marfu, and similarly khabar will also always be in rafa status and khabar will be marfu. This rule applies 100% of the time. Rule number two, mubtada should be definite or marifa in capacity, and khabar should be indefinite or nakra in capacity. And this rule is applicable 99% of the time. Finally, both mubtada and khabar should be the same in terms of gender and number, and this rule applies 99.99% of the time. We started making Jumla Ismiya using definite asma as mubtada. Previously, we studied the types of definite asma, and we studied that there are a total of 7 types of definite asma. Of the 7 types, we studied 5 different types of definite asma. First of all, we used ism alam or proper noun as mubtada, and we made Jumla Ismiya on the pattern of Zaidun Salihun. Zaid is pious. Zaid here is a proper noun. Next, we used Mu'arraf bil lam as mubtada, and we had the sentence Al waladu salihun. The boy is pious. Today, we will use demonstrative pronouns or ism ishara as mubtada, and we will try to make Jumla Ismiya using demonstrative pronouns as mubtada. Let us understand demonstrative pronouns using examples from the English language. In every language, we will have certain terminologies to point towards people or things that are near or far. In the English language, to point towards a person or a thing that is near, we will use this or these. This and these are examples of demonstrative pronouns. For example, in this example, the person is pointing towards an apple, and the person will say this apple. In the next example, the person is pointing towards many apples, and the person will say these apples. This and these are demonstrative pronouns that are used to point towards a person or a thing that is near. For someone or something that is far, the pronouns that are used are that or those. So that and those are also examples of demonstrative pronouns. In this example, the person is pointing towards an apple that is far away. So the person will say that apple. And here, the person is pointing towards many apples that are far away. So we will say those apples. Just like this, these, that, and those, we also have demonstrative pronouns or asma-e ishara in the Arabic language. It is important to note that each ism ishara is an ism. So we need to know the 4 characteristics of each ism ishara. Therefore, For Asma Ishara, for each case, we will need to know the number, we will need to know the gender, we will need to know the capacity. And for Asma Ishara, we already know that they are all definite. Why are they definite in capacity? Because Asma Ishara are included in the 7 categories of definite Asma. Finally, we will need to know the status for each Ism Ishara. Each Ism Ishara will either be Rafa, Nasab or Jar. Since we are using Asma Ishara or demonstrative pronouns as Mubtada, and we know that Mubtada will always be Rafa, therefore we will study Asma Ishara in their Rafa status. We can put all of this together in the form of a table. Here we have Asma Ishara or demonstrative pronouns for near and for far. The term used for near is qareeb and the term used for far is ba'id. Furthermore, for each Ism Ishara in the table, we will study the different gender, whether it's masculine or feminine, and we will get to know the number, whether it's singular, dual or plural. For this table, we know that all the Asma Ishara that will be included will be Rafa in status and they will all be definite in capacity. This is the table for Asma Ishara or demonstrative pronouns. In this table, we will be studying Asma Ishara or demonstrative pronouns for near or qareeb and far or ba'id. For each Ism Ishara, we will know the 4 characteristics of the Ism. We already know that this table is for demonstrative pronouns in the Rafa status or in the third form of Ism. Why do we know that this table is for Rafa status? Is because we are studying Asma Ishara or demonstrative pronouns as Mubtada. And we know that in Jumla Ismiya, Mubtada will always be Rafa. So for now, we only need to study demonstrative pronouns in the Rafa status. Inshallah, in later part of this lecture, we will study demonstrative pronouns in the Nasab and Jar status as well. For each Ism Ishara that we will be studying in the table, we will know the status, which is Rafa status. We will know the capacity, and we already know that all Asma Ishara are definite in capacity. Furthermore, we will know the number and we will know the gender. The first Ism Ishara that we have is Haza. Haza is an Ism Ishara or a demonstrative pronoun that is used to demonstrate a person or an object that is singular and masculine. So to point towards a person or an object that is singular and masculine, we will use the Ism Ishara or demonstrative pronoun Haza. For Haza, we know the number, that is singular, we know the gender, that is masculine, we know the status, that is Rafa, and we know the capacity, that is definite. The feminine version of Haza will be Hazihi. So if we were to demonstrate someone or something that is singular and feminine, we will use the demonstrative pronoun Hazihi. Both Haza and Hazihi are used for near. We will skip dual demonstrative pronouns for now because they are not used as commonly as singular and plural demonstrative pronouns in the Holy Quran. We will be studying them inshallah later in this lecture. The plural demonstrative pronoun for near is the same for both masculine and feminine, and that is ha'ula'i. So if we are to point towards people or things that are near, we will use the demonstrative pronoun ha'ula'i. Once again, for singular masculine, we have haza. For singular feminine, we have hazihi. And for plural, for both masculine and feminine, we have ha'ula'i. All of these demonstrative pronouns are used to demonstrate someone or something that is near. We studied asma ishara or demonstrative pronouns for objects and people that are near, and those demonstrative pronouns are haza, hazihi, haulai. Next, we will study demonstrative pronouns for people and objects that are far. In order to point towards someone or something that is singular and masculine and far away, we will use the demonstrative pronoun zalika. Zalika is an ism ishara. Zalika is a demonstrative pronoun. Because zalika is an ism, it will have 4 characteristics of ism. Zalika is definite in capacity because all asma ishara or demonstrative pronouns are definite in capacity. Zalika is rafa in status because this table is for demonstrative pronouns that are rafa in status, because we are using demonstrative pronouns as mubtada and all mubtada will be rafa in status. Zalika is masculine. Zalika is singular. In order for us to point towards someone or something that is singular and feminine, we will use the demonstrative pronoun tilka. So, for demonstrating someone or something that is far and singular, for masculine we will use zalika, for feminine we will use tilka. We will once again skip dual demonstrative pronouns because majority of the asma ishara that are used in the Holy Quran will be either singular or plural. For plural demonstrative pronoun that is used for far, the term is ulaika. Ulaika will be used to demonstrate people or objects that are far, and ulaika will be used for both masculine and feminine. To summarize, demonstrative pronouns are used to point towards or demonstrate objects or people that are near or far. For near demonstration, we have haza, hazihi, haulai. And to point towards someone or something that is far, we have zalika, tilka, ulaika. Haza, hazihi, haulai. Zalika, tilka, ulaika. Haza, hazihi, haulai. Zalika, tilka, ulaika. The equivalent of haza and hazihi in the English language is this, and the equivalent of haulai is these. This is used for near, these is used for near, but in the plural sense. So haza and hazihi are also used for near in the singular sense, and haulai will be used for plural. The equivalent of zalika and tilka in English is that, and the equivalent of ulaika in English is those. We will now make jumla ismiya using ism ishara or definite pronoun as mubtada. Here is our table of demonstrative pronouns as reference. If we want to make a sentence, this is a student. If we want to make jumla ismiya, we will need a mubtada and khabar. We can start with the khabar first, which will be talibun. Talibun means a student. As khabar, talibun will be in rafa status, and that is the case because of the presence of double pesh at the end of the ism. Talibun is indefinite in capacity. It is singular and masculine. The mubtada for this jumla ismiya will need to be in rafa status. It will need to be definite. It will need to be singular and masculine. If we want the mubtada to be an ism ishara, we will look at our table. This is a student means that we are referring to someone or something that is near. So we will be looking in the near section. Since we want an isim ishara that is singular and masculine, we will look at our table and we will narrow it down to haza. So our final jumla ismiya is haza talibun, which means this is a student. Haza is mubtada. It is rafa in status because it comes from the rafa table. It is definite in capacity because all asma ishara are definite in capacity. It is singular and masculine. Another example is haza muslimun. This is a Muslim. Muslimun is the khabar. It is rafa in status, indefinite, singular and masculine. Haza is mubtada and it is definite in capacity, rafa in status and singular and masculine, similar to the khabar. Another example similar to haza muslimun is haza mu'minun, which means this is a mu'min. Our next example is this is a student, but we are referring to a female student. If we want to make jumla ismiya, we will have mubtada and khabar. Our khabar will be talibatun. Talibatun means a female student. Being khabar, talibatun needs to be in rafa status as indicated by double pesh at the end of the ism. It needs to be indefinite in capacity, singular and feminine as indicated by the round ta at the end of the ism. The mubtada in this case needs to be rafa. It needs to be definite. It needs to be singular and feminine, similar to the khabar. If we want to look for a demonstrative pronoun or an ism ishara to be the mubtada, we will refer to our table. We will need to look at the near row because this is a student indicates that we are referring to a person that is near. So first of all, we will need to look at the near row. Secondly, we will need to look at the feminine row because we are clearly talking about a feminine student and we are referring to a singular student. So we will look at singular and feminine and our ism ishara or demonstrative pronoun will be hazihi. So our complete jumla ismiya will be hazihi talibatun. Hazihi is the ism ishara. It is the demonstrative pronoun. It is rafa in status because it comes from the rafa table. It is definite in capacity and it is singular and feminine. Another example is hazihi muslimatun, which means this is a Muslim and a female Muslim. Our next example is these are students and we are referring to students with a masculine gender. We have several clues from this sentence. These indicate that we are referring to a group of students that are nearby. So we will immediately focus on the near row. Furthermore, students indicate that we are referring to a plural group of students. And finally, we know the gender of the students, which is masculine. So we will return to our table of demonstrative pronouns. We will focus on the near row and we will look at the demonstrative pronoun that will be used for the plural group, which is haula'i. And we will pick haula'i up and that will make our jumla ismiya, which is haula'i tullabun. Haula'i is the mubtada. It is rafa in status, definite in capacity. It is plural in number and it is masculine. Khabar is tullabun, which is rafa in status, indefinite in capacity, plural in number and masculine in gender. In contrast, we have these are students but of the feminine gender. Similar to the first sentence, we will again focus on the near row and we will again go to the plural end. And we have only one option here, so we will use that in our sentence. Haula'i طالبات. هؤلاء طلاب. هؤلاء طالبات. These are students that are masculine in gender. These are students that are feminine in gender. Over here, هؤلاء is used in the masculine sense, and over here, هؤلاء is used in the feminine sense. So, for demonstrative pronouns for plural, whether they are masculine or feminine, the particular demonstrative pronoun will be the same for near, which is هؤلاء, and for far, it will be أولئك. Next, we will study examples of demonstrative pronouns that are used to point towards objects or people that are far. That is a student, and the student we're referring to is of masculine gender. We will say ذلك طالب. We picked ذلك because first of all, we are referring to a student that is far away. We are saying that is a student. So we will refer to the far row. Secondly, we are referring to a student that is of the masculine gender. So we will look at the far row and we will pick the cell that represents singular and masculine. So we will say ذلك طالب. Next we have that is a student, but the student is of feminine gender. Because of that, we will again look at the far row. We will focus on the singular column because we are referring to a female student, and we will pick tilka because tilka indicates referral to someone that is far, singular and feminine. So our jumla ismiya will be tilka talibatun. Those are students, and those students are of masculine gender. Those indicates that we are referring to a group of students that are far. So we will look at the far column. Those also indicates the plural number. So we will look at the plural column and we have ulaika tullabun. Similarly, those are students but of the feminine gender. We will say ulaika talibatun. Here ulaika is used for masculine. Here ulaika is used for feminine. Those are Muslims of the masculine gender. Ulaika muslimuna. Those are Muslims of the feminine gender. Ulaika muslimatun. Now we will study demonstrative pronouns or asma-e ishara for objects. This is a pen. Haza qalamun. Since qalam is masculine, we will use haza. For masculine, we are using haza because we are pointing towards something that is near, singular and masculine. This is a chair. Haza kursiyun. Similar to haza qalamun. This is a wall. The Arabic for wall is jidar, and we have haza jidarun. This is a book. Haza kitabun. Haza qalamun, haza kursiyun, haza jidarun, haza kitabun are all on the same pattern. This is a bag. The Arabic for bag is haqiba. It is a feminine ism because it has the presence of the round ta at the end of the ism. So we will say hazihi haqibatun. We are picking hazihi because we are referring to something that is near, something that is feminine and singular. That is a fan. Now we are pointing towards something that is far away and singular and feminine. So we will look at far, feminine and singular, and we will say tilka mirwahatun. That is a door. Door is masculine and singular and far. So we will pick zalika and we will say zalika babun. That is a window. Window is nafiza. It is feminine because of the presence of gol ta at the end of the ism. So we will need to pick far, feminine and singular, and we will say tilka nafizatun. We will now study a very important concept. Let us look at some examples. If we want to say the student is new, we will say at-talibu jadidun. If we want to say the pen is new, we will say al-qalamu jadidun. Now moving to the plural examples. If we want to say the students are new, we will say at-tullabu jadiduna. But what if we want to say the pens are new? For the pens we will say al-aqlamu, but what will our khabar be? Let us focus on the student versus the pen. The student is a creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and pen is also a creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In Arabic grammar, a created entity will either be Akil or it will be Ghair Akil. The literal meaning of Akil is intelligent and the literal meaning of Ghair Akil is non-intelligent. So, in Arabic grammar, we will look at all creation and we will say that the creation is either intelligent or Akil, or it will be Ghair Akil or non-intelligent. Let us look at the differences between the two and the grammatical implications in more detail. We looked at the example of pen and student, and we said that both are creations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But in Arabic grammar, a created entity will either be classified as Akil or Ghair Akil. Akil will be an intelligent entity, Ghair Akil will be a non-intelligent entity. The definition of Akil includes only 3 types of creation. Only 3 types of creation are considered Akil in Arabic grammar. These 3 types are humans, angels, and jinn. Once again, in Arabic grammar, a created entity will either be classified as Akil or intelligent, or Ghair Akil or non-intelligent. Only 3 types of creation are considered Akil. These are humans, angels, and jinn. For example, Ustaz or teacher will be included as Akil. Why? Because Ustaz or teacher is a human, and humans are included in the category of Akil. Similarly, student or talib will also be included in the category of Akil because a student will be human. Examples of Ghair Akil or non-intelligent creations are qalam, kursi. Qalam means pen, kursi means chair, and both of these examples don't fit into the category of Akil. A pen is not a human, a pen is not an angel, a pen is not a jinn. Therefore, a pen will be Ghair Akil creation, and grammatically it will be called Ghair Akil or non-intelligent. Let us return to our example of the pen versus the student. The student is new. For this we will say At-talibu jadidun. At-talibu means the student, and at-talibu is an example of an aqil ism or an intelligent ism. At-talibu, the student, is included within the group of humans, so it will be aqil. In comparison, al-qalamu jadidun, the pen is new. Al-qalamu means the pen. The pen is not human, the pen is not angel, the pen is not a jinn. So it doesn't fit into the category of aqil. So al-qalamu is ghair aqil or non-intelligent. When we come to the plural forms, we have at-tullabu jadiduna, the students are new. Similar to the students are also aqil. The pens are new. We will say al-aqlamu. We are not yet sure about what the khabar will be, but al-aqlamu is plural and it is ghair aqil because the pens are not humans, the pens are not angels, the pens are not jinn. In order to determine the khabar for this jumla ismiya, we need to know our very important rule. And that rule is as follows. For plural of ghair aqil or non-intelligent ism, the khabar, the ishara, the zamir, the mawsul, the sifat, and the fail will be singular and feminine. Once again, for plural of ghair aqil or non-intelligent ism, the khabar or predicate, the demonstrative pronoun, the personal pronoun, the relative pronoun, the adjective, and the fail will be singular and feminine. Some of these items have not been studied yet, and inshallah we will be studying them in the future. However, the rule will apply at that time when we study these items. This is an important concept that needs to be committed to memory. So once again, for plural of ghair aqil or non-intelligent ism, the khabar, the demonstrative pronoun, the personal pronoun, the relative pronoun, the adjective, and the fail will be singular and feminine. Let us apply this rule to practice. So here we have the same example. At-tullabu jadiduna. The students are new. The pens are new. We will say al-aqlamu for mubtada, but for khabar, what should we say? Should we say jadiduna here as well? Al-aqlamu is a plural of a ghair aqil ism. Al-aqlamu is the plural of a ghair aqil ism. Al-aqlamu is the plural of a non-intelligent ism, and al-aqlamu is mubtada. So what will the khabar be? Al-aqlamu is the plural of a ghair aqil ism, therefore the khabar will be singular and feminine. So for this jumla ismiya, since the mubtada is the plural of a ghair aqil or a non-intelligent ism, the khabar will be singular and feminine, which is jadidatun. So we will not say al-aqlamu jadiduna or any other version. We will say al-aqlamu jadidatun. Jadidatun is singular and feminine. It satisfies this rule, and this is a good example of how we will determine the khabar of a jumla ismiya where the mubtada is the plural of a ghair aqil or a non-intelligent ism. Our next example is haza qalamun. This is a pen. Qalamun is an example of a ghair aqil or non-intelligent ism because qalamun or pen is not a human, it is not an angel, it is not a jinn. Haza qalamun is a jumla ismiya using haza, which is a demonstrative pronoun, or ism ishara as mubtada. What if we want to go from the singular to the plural and say these are pens? For these are pens, the jumla ismiya will be constructed as follows. The khabar will be aqlamun, and the mubtada we still have to identify. Aqlamun is the plural of a ghair aqil ism. Aqlamun is the plural of a non-intelligent ism. Aqlamun is the plural of a ghair aqil or a non-intelligent ism. For mubtada, which will be an ism ishara, we will refer to our table for asma ishara in the rafa status. Since we need an ism ishara or a demonstrative pronoun here, we will refer to our rule table, and here we see that for plural of ghair aqil or non-intelligent ism, the demonstrative pronoun or ism ishara will be singular and feminine. So we will look at our table for demonstrative pronouns and we will look for singular and feminine ism ishara, which will be hazihi. So we have the final jumla ismiya, that is hazihi aqlamun. Hazihi is an ism ishara. It is a demonstrative pronoun. It is singular and feminine. Our next example is haza kitabun. Kitabun is an example of a ghair aqil or non-intelligent ism. Kitabun is ghair aqil because it is not a human, it is not an angel, it is not a jinn. If we want to say the plural for this is a book, we will say these are books. The jumla ismiya for these are books will be constructed as follows. For khabar, we will have kutubun. Kutubun is the plural of kitabun, and kutubun is a plural of a ghair aqil ism. Kutubun is the plural of a ghair aqil or non-intelligent ism. We have to identify the mubtada for this jumla ismiya, and we know that the mubtada will be a demonstrative pronoun because these indicates that we have to use a demonstrative pronoun or ism ishara. These indicates that we have to look for an ism ishara in the near row. Since kutubun is the plural of a ghair aqil ism, we know that for plural of ghair aqil ism, the demonstrative pronoun or ism ishara will be singular and feminine. So we will return to our table and we will identify an ism ishara in the near category, that is singular and feminine, and our mubtada will be hazihi. The jumla ismiya will be hazihi kutubun. Hazihi is singular and feminine and it is a demonstrative pronoun. Please note that saying haula'i kutubun is grammatically incorrect because kutubun is the plural of a ghair aqil ism or a non-intelligent ism. The demonstrative pronoun that we will use with kutubun will be hazihi and the jumla ismiya will be hazihi kutubun. We will study some more examples here. This is a door. Haza babun. And the plural will be these are doors. Hazihi abwabun. We will not say haula'i abwabun, but we will say hazihi abwabun. Hazihi is a demonstrative pronoun which is singular and feminine. It is used as a demonstrative pronoun for the plural of a ghair aqil ism. Abwabun is the plural of a non-intelligent or a ghair aqil ism, and therefore the demonstrative pronoun that we will use for it will be singular and feminine. So we picked hazihi as the demonstrative pronoun. Zalika qalamun, that is a pen, and the plural version will be those are pens. We will say tilka aqlamun. We will not say ulaika for those, rather we will say tilka aqlamun. Tilka is also singular and feminine and is a demonstrative pronoun that is used for the plural of a ghair aqil or non-intelligent ism. Aqlamun is the plural of a ghair aqil ism. Aqlamun is plural for qalamun, which is pen. Zalika babun, that is a door. The plural will be those are doors. Similar to tilka aqlamun, we will say tilka abwabun. Finally, haza talibun, this is a student. The plural will be these are students. Please note that the plural of talib is tullabun, but tullabun is the plural of an aqil ism. Tullabun is not the plural of a ghair aqil ism. So this rule will not apply here. We will say haulai tullabun. Tullabun being the plural of an aqil ism means that we do not need to apply this rule, and we will simply refer to our table for demonstrative pronouns, and we will pick the correct demonstrative pronoun, which is haulai, and the jumla ismiya will become haulai tullabun. Let us recap what we have learned. In Arabic grammar, a created entity will either be aqil or intelligent, or it will be ghair aqil or non-intelligent. Only 3 types of creation are considered aqil. These are humans, angels, or jinn. This is the rule that we need to remember carefully. The khabar or predicate used for the plural of ghair aqil will be singular and feminine. The demonstrative pronoun which will be used for the plural of ghair aqil will be singular and feminine. The personal pronoun which will be used for the plural of ghair aqil will be singular and feminine. The relative pronoun that will be used for the plural of ghair aqil will be singular and feminine. The adjective that will be used for the plural of ghair aqil will be singular and feminine, and the fail that will be used for the plural of ghair aqil will be singular and feminine. We will return to our table for asma ishara or demonstrative pronouns in the rafa status. We will now study asma ishara in the dual form. For near demonstration, we have hazani, which will be used for masculine, and hatani, which will be used for feminine. So our table will be as follows: haza, hazani, haulai, hazihi, hatani, haulai. For the far category, we will have zanika for masculine, and for feminine we will have tanika. Zalika, zanika, ulaika, tilka, tanika, ulaika. Haza, hazani, haulai, hazihi, hatani, haulai. Zalika, zanika, ulaika, tilka, tanika, ulaika. An important tip to remember is that all of these demonstrative pronouns or asma ishara will be written and pronounced the same way whether they are in rafa status or first form, nasab status or second form, and jar status or third form. For example, the three forms for haza will be haza, 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 hazihi, 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 haulai, 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 zalika, 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 tilka, 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 ulaika, ulaika, ulaika. Dual asma ishara will be pronounced and written differently in the nasab and jar form as compared to rafa form. Dual asma ishara will be as follows. In the nasab and jar status, we have hazaini, hataini, zainika, tainika. At this point, we have the complete table for demonstrative pronouns. As stated earlier, the most common asma ishara that are used in the Holy Quran are the singular asma ishara and the plural asma ishara. Dual asma ishara are not used as frequently as singular or plural asma ishara. For near demonstration, we have haza, hazani, hazaini, haulai. If we recall from earlier lectures, ani ending sound indicates rafa status, aini ending sound indicates nasab or jar status. Haza, hazani, hazaini, haulai. Hazihi, hatani, hataini, haulai. Zalika, zanika, zainika, ulaika. Tilka, tanika, tainika, ulaika. Haza, hazihi, haulai, zalika, tilka, ulaika. Let us do some practice of demonstrative pronouns. Haza, muslimun. This is a Muslim. Hazani, muslimani. These two are Muslims. Haulai, muslimuna. These are Muslims. Hazihi, muslimatun. This is a female Muslim. Hatani, muslimatani. These two are female Muslims. Haulai, muslimatun. These are female Muslims. Zalika, muhandisun. That is an engineer. Zanika, muhandisani. Those two are engineers. Ulaika, muhandisuna. Those are engineers. Tilka, muhandisatun. That is a female engineer. Tanika, muhandisatani. Those two are female engineers. Ulaika, muhandisatun. Those are female engineers. Haza kitabun. This is a book. Hazani kitabani. These are two books. Hazihi kutubun. These are books. Please note that we are not saying haulai kutubun. We are saying hazihi kutubun because kutubun is the plural of a ghair aqil or non-intelligent ism. Therefore, the ism ishara that will be used for the plural of a ghair aqil ism will be singular and feminine, which will be hazihi. Haza qalamun. This is a pen. Hazani qalamani. These are two pens. Hazihi aqlamun. These are pens. Hazihi kurrasatun. This is a pamphlet. Hatani kurrasatani. These are two pamphlets. Hazihi kurrasatun. These are pamphlets. Zalika babun, that is a door. Zanika babani, those are two doors. Tilka abwabun, those are doors. Tilka sa'atun, that is a watch. Tanika sa'atani, those are two watches. Tilka sa'atun, those are watches. Haza himarun, this is a donkey. Hazani himarani, these are two donkeys. Hazihi humurun, these are donkeys. Humurun is the plural of himar. Humurun is the plural of a ghair aqil ism. Therefore, the ism ishara that will be used will be singular and feminine, which will be hazihi. We will not say haulai humurun, we will say hazihi humurun. Hazihi naqatun, this is a she camel. Hatani naqatani, these are two she camels. Hazihi nuqun, these are she camels. Zalika jabalun, that is a mountain. Zanika jabalani, those are two mountains. Tilka jibalun, those are mountains. Tilka sayyaratun, that is a car. Tanika sayyaratani, those are two cars. Tilka sayyaratun, those are cars. Haza sarirun, this is a bed. Hazani sarirani, these are two beds. Hazihi sururun, these are beds. Hazihi darrajatun, this is a bicycle. Hatani darrajatani, these are two bicycles. Hazihi darrajatun, these are bicycles. We will translate the following sentences from English to Arabic. This is a student. Haza talibun, that is a female student. Tilka talibatun, these are two books. Hazani kitabani, those are two birds. Zanika ta'irani, those are teachers. Ulaika asatizatun, these are two chairs. Hazani kursiyani, those are two tables. Zanika maktabani, this is a mosque. Haza masjidun, that is a school. Tilka madrasatun, these are doctors. Haulai tabibuna, those are female doctors. Ulaika tabibatun.
سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.